You had, each in your own way, made your way to the Ruby Foods Hotel. Elise had arrived there following her instinct and her witchy ability to sense things in the city, on the lookout for a young woman named Cecilia, whom has appeared in one of her visions as perhaps someone that might replace Maria in her and Fletcher's ongoing quest to solve Troisichel's riddle. Fiona had arrived here looking for a broker, a man who works for a number of unions in Montreal, and is apparently a connection to the Entreprise du Lys Noir, who have been a bit of a thorn in Fiona's side, preventing Fiona from getting a new headquarters for her organization. This man, Tanner Brooks, is the head of a union and supposedly a intermediary for his company between the company and City Hall. And you were discovered that he was here tonight because there is an auction. The people building the pyramid, the Entreprise du Lys Noir, are auctioning off some of the penthouses and luxury office suites here tonight at the Ruby Foods Hotel. Meanwhile, Margot arrived here on the heels of receiving a number of disturbing postcards from L'Enfant Terrible, the red-faced menace, that red-masked menace, rather, I should say, that she's been pursuing for a while, which led her to this woman named Violet, who had a story of meeting L'Enfant Terrible some years ago here at the hotel. And this woman, Violet, had been the lover, the partner of one Dr. Cassidy Kilgrave, who had apparently, after working for his Entreprise du Lys Noir and taken part in some sort of operation at the pyramid, disappeared completely off the face of the planet. And so Margot and the rest of them arrived here in the parking lot, meeting each other, with Elise and Margot realizing that they both had a connection to Cecilia, who was there that night working for a caterer who is catering this not fundraiser, but this auction that's going on. One of the things you noticed also on the way in, which I think I forgot to mention last week, where the Ruby Foods Hotel is in Montreal is along the Décarie Highway. Across the Décarie Highway is the Giant Orange, the Orange Julep, which is a landmark in Montreal. It's a fast food restaurant, and people with hot rods and cars kind of gather there. It's kind of like a car show almost every night. And beyond that is where the old Hippodrome used to be, which is where the pyramid is being built. So as you stand in the parking lot of the Ruby Foods and look off to the west, you can see the skyhooks and the construction site with all the lights and everything where the giant pyramid is being built. Right there, just across the way from you. Which is perhaps a portent of horrible things to come. You had engaged with each other, trying to figure out what to do, when in the window, as Elise and Margot were having a bit of a debate about Cecilia, in the window, Fiona spotted the red-masked face of L'Enfant Terrible, staring down at them and taunting them from a window on the 3rd floor of the building. You had learned from Margot that the woman, Violet, had come here into room 26 and had encountered L'Enfant Terrible there. And so, as you stand here in the parking lot, along with Vico de la Sombra, who is Margot's occasional lover, and you know one of the aspects of Troisichel, you see the face of L'Enfant Terrible in the window. You know Cecilia's inside. You know Tanner Brooks is inside. What do you do?
Elise is going to look up at that building where the man was seen in the window, and she begins to close her eyes, focusing on this building. Her breathing pattern slows noticeably, and when her eyes open again, her eyes are rolled into the back of her head, revealing only the whites. I am going to use my premonition ability for this.
I believe you have to make a rouse check,
Yeah, I do.
which is always fun.
A success by the fucking skin of my teeth.
I have to tell you, when we started playing V5, I really disliked the rouse check, and now I love the hell.
Yeah, I bet you do, bud. I am gonna use a night move to add on to this. Probably don't need it, but it's more fun that way.
Go right ahead. The night move will allow you to add 2 dice to your roll.
Okay, so that's 8 successes. 8. It is once again a bestial crit.
The earth trembles. What do you wish to do? Do you wish to spend another
Look inside
move?
yourself, Bleak, and know that answer already. It's a no. Spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
We're riding this wave.
We're riding this wave. You focus your attention on the window. And I am going to ask for everyone's patience for 1 second, because I absolutely completely forgot to load one image that I really need for this.
Someone cue the elevator music.
Someone cue the elevator
I'll
music.
sing. I'll sing for everyone. Everybody loves it when I sing.
Sing with us,
That helped
bitch.
me concentrate. We are dreadful vampires, people. I'm losing followers and subscribers.
So much for that 1,000 follower thing.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Brad.
Thank you, Brad.
Brad liked her singing, so...
Brad likes to sing.
I can sing Ave Maria again.
No, we're good. I've got it loaded. We're good to go. Thank you so much, Bradley.
I know. I should save my voice for the angels and not you, Bleak.
Yes. All right. To allow for the edit, you focus your attention on the window and the red figure that just disappeared, leaving behind in the breath that it had left on the window, the little heart that it drew. As the window sort of darkens and starts to take over the entirety of your vision, you see a dark room. You walk into this room, Elise. It is a very unsettling room. The walls are dripping with darkness, oily and viscous. There's an old lady, her face shrouded in shadows, almost as if covered by them, sitting, cuddling an infant in her arms, cooing at it. It reminds you of the hidden mother pictures prevalent in the Victorian period. Near them, you see an artist working on a painting. When you take a closer look at the painting, you see that it is an image of a shadowed woman with a crown, clutching a wounded child in her arms, while a red-haired, dark creature looks on. You have this indelible sense that in both cases, the child is Margot. The artist painting the portrait turns to look at you and smile. And you see that it is you, Elise. The vision goes away and you reel from it. And as you stand there trying to regain your balance, trying to make sense of what you just saw, you understand that there is something in here, something in this place, something old and shadowy and motherly. In that, in some ways, it is connected to Margot, and by going in here, you are bringing the child to the motherly figure.
What kind of senses do I get from this motherly figure? Is this a good vibe? A bad vibe?
Neither, in the sense that it's more of an alien vibe. It is someone who would not care for you and would probably kill you, but simply because it does not understand you and does not understand that you may have feelings and may want to live. Almost like we might look at an insect or a parasite or an amoeba, something that is so below our notice that we don't even understand that this thing might want to live.
Okay.
And that is the sense you get from it. It is not evil in that it doesn't have evil intention. It is simply doing what it does, but that what it does may be inimical to Margot, to you, to the others. Thanks so much, everyone, for the donations, Bradley. It's insane, and thank you so much for the gifted subs there. It was viral.
A follow-up question to that. When I see myself painting this baby Margot, does this harken a memory in me? Is this a real memory, or is this my mind's eye creating a vision so I can understand something better? Symbolism.
You get the feeling, and this plays into your monstrous critical.
Mm-hmm.
You get the feeling that it is the subject of your vision telling you that it is aware that you are seeing it, and that it is placing you there because it can. It has the power to do that. It has the power to insinuate itself into your visions and to manipulate them. You get the sense from that manipulation is the key. Manipulation, illusion is at the core of everything.
Okay.
And that you are not free from its impact or its
One last thing.
Mhm.
Sorry to bog it down.
No, please. You got a ton of successes, so keep asking until the cows come home.
I would assume, knowing all of this, that I would know that this is a very powerful being.
So powerful that it's almost unimportant. It is powerful on the level of gods. It is powerful on the level of, if this thing wants everything dead or wants you dead, there's absolutely literally nothing you can do about it. So it's not even use worrying about it. It is something that goes beyond really your ability to understand, or it is something on the cosmic level.
Okay.
And while it is dangerous, and while it is there, and while it is present, there is really this sense of, if it wants, there's nothing you can do about it. So there's really no point in fretting about it specifically.
Right. There's a neutrality there. And this is separate from the terrible child. Though somehow possibly connected, I would assume.
Well, because you have the 8 successes, I will tell you that you get the feeling that the red-haired dark creature possibly represents the terrible child.
Okay.
And that there is a connection there.
Okay. Beautiful. I love this. I feel so much smarter now. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold that Monsters Critical in my pocket for a little bit.
I kind of figured you might. I was like, oh, nothing bad happened. Great. Something bad's going to happen in the next 2.5 hours, I guess. If either of you notice her stop and do this, her eyes roll back, what you would see after this is her head would kind of drop and she would, almost like waking up, her eyes would quickly find either of you. Have you guys moved forward? Did anyone stop?
No, I think Margot, seeing you kind of go into this like catatonic state, I think she would have stopped and waited, and she's sort of watching you almost impatiently. Are you done?
There's something powerful inside there. Something that none of us can affect. It's beyond us.
I think we're in a world of trouble.
You might see things, illusions, things that aren't real. The terrible child. He feeds on the darkest bits of you. He'll show them to you, I'm sure, enough. Not him, this. She looks up to the window. Mother.
Well,
don't always believe your eyes inside this building, but do be careful. While the child, the terrible one, he is certainly evil, and he seeks to create more evil. So chaos. The mother, she is neutral. She knows not what she does. We tread lightly.
yeah, well, I think that's a good plan. This mother, what are you talking about? What did you see?
A woman.
Okay.
It was strange. She held a baby in her hands. That baby was you, Margot.
She looks at Fiona for a moment, brows sort of knitted together, and then looks back at Elise. That is, in fact, strange.
How did you make your way here, Margot? Were you drawn here? How are you connected to this?
The terrible child has been a pet project of mine for a bit. And he sends me love letters, postcards. He's how I found the 23 and 3 bodies. He sent me a no ghost for a ghost. And then I found the bodies, and then he called me out there and has been calling me out since. He does horrible things to women, Elise. Things that go beyond physical abuse. He ruins lives of women who are in desperate moments. That's what I do. I take bad men and I make them dead.
I don't think you're going to be able to do that so easily with this one. I think right now our goal is to find our young Cecilia and save her.
That's exactly what I was going to suggest.
This isn't a hero's job, Margot.
I'm well aware. This is not necessarily a hero's job. He's well aware of who Cecilia is and who she is to me.
Of course he is. He sinks into your skin like a virus. He implants himself inside of you in your brain, and he searches it for the thing most precious and dear to you. Do you know what he showed me when I was inside there looking around with my mind? He showed me my love, my Fletcher. He knows now what's most dear to me as well.
Here's my concept idea. We go in and we get Cecilia out, and you two leave.
Oh no, I've got a broker to grab, so I think we prioritize finding your wee lass in there. And if I can get him on the way out, I'm dragging him out by the scruff. But let me caution you, I do believe that Elise is right. It's like walking into a viper's den. You're never going to know when he's going to come in and bite you on the ankle.
We'll deal with that when we deal with it. Elise, you're home. I'm assuming you have a home.
Of course I do.
Is Cecilia safe in that home if I were to send her there? Then I will do that. She does not know what I am, as discussed.
Well, if you'd like me to keep your secret, I can, but I don't think I'll keep what I am from her myself. Not if she's to come to my home.
I'll cross that bridge when I deal with it. When I can, but I can't leave her in that apartment anymore. And you're Fletcher. Is he a strong man?
Extremely.
And he'll help her?
Of course. I'll care for her as though she were one of my own. It's what I do, after all.
That's that, then.
We find the girl, we get her, and we leave.
Right.
She looks behind her, and Faraday is idling the vehicle there in the parking lot. Faraday will take us where we need to go once we leave. He can wait here for us.
Excellent. We get your guy if we can get him. Fiona, I can't make any promises, but I'll do what I can.
Well, while this is going on, I think you wanted to make some phone calls, Fiona, last week, if I'm remembering correctly.
Mm-hmm.
As these two are going on, what would you like to call?
I would get on the phone with Bruno to have him organize some people who could cause a bit of a fracas if need be, not just for no reason.
All right, so let's do it. You call up your man Bruno, and after a couple of rings, he answers, and you hear in the background, "Pink Pony Club, I'm gonna keep on dancing the pink." Yeah, boss.
Bruno, turn that shit down. I gotta talk to you.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
You can dance around in your underwear at another time. Just,
I'm in my car, boss.
well, you can put your pants back on anyway.
Done. What can I do you for?
I need you to call up a crew, maybe 15, 20 people. Human.
What's going down?
Well, I'm not sure yet, but we might need a crew to distract over at Ruby Foods.
Ruby Foods. Is that place still open?
Sure is.
All right. What's going on down there?
Well, I think there might be a bit of a scuffle. And quite frankly, what I'd love is if they could cause enough of a distraction that we could get one, possibly two, definitely, hopefully two, people out undetected and without getting anybody killed.
All right, I'll see if I can round up some people. Do you need any more backup, or do you need me to come down? Do you need?
Why don't you get some of the street punks, light weaponry? If we need some backup guns, I think that we should have maybe a car full.
This this a big thing, boss, or is it just
Bruno, why would I ever talk to you about a big thing over the phone?
No, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to gauge the situation here, because your voice is not letting me on a lot. You just sound like you usually do, which is hard to tell if this is bad or if it's just routine.
I said at the top of this call that I didn't fucking know. But I think 15 to 20 people and then a backup of, say, 4 to 5 gunners.
All right. Ruby Foods, you said?
That's right.
I'll have them gather at the Orange Julep with the other muscle cars and whatnot, so that they're just across the street if you need them, but they'll be invisible until then.
That sounds like a plan, and quite frankly, I don't think it would be a good idea if you came.
Why not?
Because I don't want you to get fucking killed.
Who's gonna give them the go-ahead? I'm alright, boss. I can watch out for myself. No worries.
Alright, well, keep an eye out for my signal. I'll have a better sense of things once I get inside.
Right, chair. On it. And, be careful, boss.
Right. Thanks.
Boss?
Yes, Bruno.
Anybody else you want me to call, or?
Above table, I don't know that there's anyone else.
You had mentioned wanting to call Costa, but I don't know if you wanted to.
Oh, right. I thought we had talked about that. I had already called.
In that you had called him just to verify that he was still alive, but you had not mentioned anything about this. So I don't know if you want to. It's totally up to you.
I would have Bruno connect with Costa and keep him appraised in case we need to get some vamps in on it.
All right, if you'll take my call. Gotcha.
He better fucking take your call.
I'll tell him
Break
that.
his kneecaps.
He hangs up. You see that Elise and Margot have talked, and Margot is turning to you and is saying the last thing that Margot said to you, which was about if they had to go in and get the girl and then fuck off, and then if ever there was a chance to get the guy, maybe. But
I'm just being real with you, Fiona, where my priority is.
I understand where your priority lies, and that's mine as well. I'm happy to help you do this.
I appreciate
I think you might need a little bit of beef on your side.
that. I do.
Vico, meanwhile, has approached the hotel and has kind of been looking around, and you're not too sure exactly what he's doing, but he has a bit of a worried look on his face.
I'll go up to him. Is there a problem?
I don't know yet. Something weird in here.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird going on here, Elise.
A lot of weird, for sure. There's an elder vampire in there.
Who?
I don't know. Not someone I know. Just on the edges of things.
Alessandra?
No.
That's concerning.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get any sense of a bloodline?
No. It's not something I can... My friend Elise there might be able to if we got some of it, but...
Yeah.
Let's just go and be very careful. Good thing is... Well, I don't know if it's a good thing, but... If I know it's here, it knows I'm here. And it knows you're here. and it hasn't done anything yet. So my feeling is it's probably hiding out and may not wish to interact if it doesn't have to.
Let's hope that it also believes in upholding the masquerade as much as we do.
Actually, Fiona, you're connected. Any chance you know anyone that could monitor the airwaves, make sure that if people start calling for the cops or reporting weird shit going on in here, that you can get snabbed?
For the record, Fiona does not fucking trust this guy. Just FYI, Fiona does not trust
This is La
Pico.
Sombra, you know.
Fuck that. I think she pauses for a second. She goes, I know one guy, but he said he wanted to be out of the game. Quite frankly, he probably is wise to do it.
Well, it doesn't necessarily make him in the game, Fiona, if he's just telling you when the cops are on the way.
Well, I figured that maybe after our conversation, because you were there as well, that Gaspar cat.
Oh, fuck.
He's the only one that I know that could scramble the airwaves or get a message across if we're in a black hole, you know what I mean?
Well, tell him I won't bash his brains in if he does this for us.
Well, quite frankly, I'd like to have him on retainer for a couple other jobs, so maybe if we don't get him fucking killed on this one, he'd want to do that.
Well, do what you can.
Very well. I would probably try to connect with Gaspar. Otherwise, I would try to connect with... I don't know if I have a Nosferatu or a Toreador connection.
Well, this is
But I
where
feel
your
like those-
influence comes into play, right?
Delicious.
This is where
Can I-
influence comes into play. So what's your influence? What kind of influence do you have?
Oh, I've got... you mean like categories?
Yes.
I've got politics, crime, and I had one other, and I can't fucking remember. It's in a notebook. I wrote it down. Wait, I've got it. Hold on. That's not it. Focus. Political, police, and crime are my...
Well, you could leverage either crime or police if you wanted.
I'm not fucking leveraging police because I'll probably need a snack later, and I don't really like to shit where I eat. So I'm going to start with crime.
How many points do you have in it?
I didn't allocate.
Yeah. When we went over it, I gave you points. I think it's 2.
We didn't drop points into it. I'm sorry, love.
Yeah. If you look in the character chat, we'll say it's 2 for now. 2 would be enough. So basically, what's going to happen, the way you're going to use your influence is that you're going to... oh yeah, we didn't give... yeah, you have Underworld 2. Politics 3, Underworld 2.
Great.
So 2 points is enough. So basically, you're going to put those 2 points to work for you, meaning you can't use them again until tomorrow night.
Okay.
And what I'm going to say you can do with that is that you know some guys that you can drop some messages in a drop off somewhere, like email messages, and what they're going to do is that they're going to start monitoring the airwaves, but also start putting a bunch of junk into the airwaves, like start putting in calls, getting people to put in tons of 911 calls, 411 calls, which is what you call when it's not an emergency, and just kind of blockade the airwaves. But that's going to take your 2 influence. So we don't need to roleplay, we don't need to say who these people are. It's just people. So you block off those 2 points for the rest of the night until your next awakening, and they'll get on that and they'll start doing that.
Okay.
All right, well, this time's a wasting, shall we?
All right.
Let's press on.
You head towards the hotel, the entrance of the hotel.
Real quick, Bleak, when I got here, I saw Cecilia, right?
Yes. You saw her going in with the rest of the catering people.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long ago was that, roughly?
Probably about 15 minutes. But they were already here. They were like taking stuff out from one of the trucks and bringing it inside. So it was about 15 minutes.
Through like, I would assume like a personnel entrance.
Yeah, like a service entrance. Yeah.
Yeah, freight elevator.
She would share this with the party.
Interesting. Just like the old days then.
What do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
I think Margot's going to start for whatever entrance that Elise points out, whatever service entrance there is.
I feel like it would be one of those moments where like we watch like someone from the catering team like run in late and we just like catch the door with our foot.
Yeah.
Slip in.
Right, so you're heading for the service entrance. Great, I only have a picture of the lobby. You head towards the service entrance. There's so the way the place is laid out. Originally, Ruby Foo's was mostly a restaurant. So the way it's laid out here, like this, on the other side of it, there's like another wing like that one that extends on the other side, and that used to be the restaurant. It was called Mahjong, and it was a Chinese restaurant. And in the 50s and 60s, it was like a super hip place. Like that's where all the stars, the movie stars and the sports stars and anyone went to hang out and kind of be seen. Eventually they built the hotel kind of next to it. So on that side now there's another, just like a breakfast restaurant now. The Chinese restaurant's called, but it's like a breakfast restaurant, and the entrance to the restaurant leads into the restaurant on one side, but then on the other side there's another door that leads into basically the service entrance of the hotel. You find yourselves, as you approach that, as soon as you open the doors, you hear the clang-clanging of cutlery, of glasses, stuff like that. You hear music coming down faintly from a little bit further down. You hear the clear sound of someone talking on the mic and kind of like, some kind of MC that's just making some, small talk jokes and whatnot during dinner kind of thing. There's people kind of coming and going. As you go in, you're all you stand out. So what is your approach as you step into this? At some point someone's gonna just wonder who you are. Now, I'm not saying that you can't bluff your way through. Like, that's what I kind of want to know. What is it that what's your approach going to be? What are you going to attempt to?
This is where Elise comes in handy and can use her tools, because she's not a fighter, she's a fucker. So she's gonna find the little man with his fancy little microphone and kind of like slither her way up. Pay no mind, she's still not wearing shoes per usual.
I just want to stress that he's in the dining area where all the diners are, right? He's like
he is.
Like,
okay.
like
is there anyone
someone.
back here immediately around them that looks like someone who's fairly important?
There is, actually. As you sort of scan around, you see a woman who appears to kind of, she's got the iPad, and she's, like kind of giving orders and whatnot. And as you approach, go ahead and give me a call it. Any of you can do that, by the way. Can do this, by the way. But go ahead and give me a wits and investigation roll. And anyone can do that.
Oh, I'm gonna use a night move on this. That's one success for me.
Also one success.
Was Margot rolling, or?
No, Margot's not rolling. Margot's looking for Cecilia. She's not really paying attention to anybody else.
You notice as you take a gander at this woman that one, she's dressed in a very nice white suit, but you do notice on her lapel a little pin that's a black fleur-de-lis.
Interesting.
So as you're moving in, let's go around the table. So Creed, tell me what you're going to do, then Kato, then Margot, tell me what you're going to do.
This woman looks rather important, so I am going to make my way towards her, and she's just oozing with charm, approaching this woman.
Okay, we'll get back to that as soon as we've gone around the table. What is Fiona doing?
In this process, can I have assessed, like, is this a catered event? Are there bartenders? Like, how fancy is this? What is the staffing situation for the back of house people? I'm talking caterers, diners, or, bartenders, servers, anyone who's working staff.
Give me a intelligence plus awareness roll.
Intelligence. Awareness. That is... Ooh. I did get one success, but I also got a red skull die.
The red skull die doesn't mean anything as long as you got one success. It's only if you fail that the red skull die becomes a problem.
Okay. I didn't fail, but one success.
All right. And Margot, what is Margot doing?
Margot's looking for Cecilia. She is kind of, her way towards where she thinks Cecilia might have gone.
All right, give me wits and awareness.
Do I know what Cecilia's exact role is for this catering company?
She's just a waiter.
Okay. Wits plus
awareness.
I would love to get that. There we go. I would love for it to roll.
Hey, Studio, come on in. Welcome in. Sorry, not come on in. You're already in with the fun.
2 successes. Normal.
Okay. So I'm going to start with Fiona. Fiona, you take a look, just because it's going to kind of set the scene. You take a look at the situation. You estimate that there's probably about 50-ish guests by the number of waiters that you see going around. It appears to be a very high-class event. You see a lot of high-class booze. The people are moving out with it very quickly, so you assume that it's an open bar kind of situation. The food that you can see on plates is the kind of food that you have, 10 courses of, and then you still need to stop over at Wendy's on the way home to actually fill yourself up.
So it's like hors d'oeuvres, people passing around trays, not like a sit-down dinner like you would see at a wedding, for example.
No, it is in fact kind of a sit-down thing. They're just kind of this very French haute cuisine kind of thing where it's like a morsel, kind of like
right,
you've seen
bullshit.
The menu. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that thing, and it's very clear that there's this strange discrepancy because the hotel itself, while it used to be a very kind of high-class happening joint, now is just kind of a tourist trap. It's a little rundown, it's a little kind of passé, but there is this very lavish kind of business going on here tonight. You figure that whoever's in that room is people of importance. This leads you to understand that there are probably security guards, armed men, things of that nature here. So you know that you have to be careful going into the room, things of that nature. People are going to have bodyguards, there's going to be security, and in fact, as you're kind of looking around, you do notice at the door leading into the dining room itself, and then one of the other doors that leads off to the corridors that goes back towards the rest of the hotel, there are men dressed in really nice suits. They don't look like goons, but you can tell, they got the little earpiece, and you can tell that they're packing, which is extremely rare in Canada.
Delightful. As soon as Fiona recognizes what's happening, she's going to do her best with what she's wearing, which is typically black, to make herself look like a cater waiter. And she picks up, snags a tray from another one of the cater waiters, and it is that montage scene of her seamlessly blending into the crowd to move about, she picks up like a steak knife to place under the tray just as a safety precaution. She's obviously always armed, but is just moving about and going, "Would you like to try the beef tartare?" And like taking a little moment to just listen. And as she's doing this, she is going around and just like trying to absorb as much of the cacophony as she can.
Okay, give me a manipulation and performance roll.
I'd
Meanwhile,
be fucking
Margot, as you're going through, you don't see her anywhere. So you kind of poke your head in the kitchen. You don't see her. She's not in the hallway. There's maybe like a total of about 30 waiters or something like that. You don't spot her. The only place you haven't been able to look yet until you go further and kind of tell me that you go there is going to be the dining room itself. But in the back room, in the kitchen area, so on and so forth, you don't notice that. However, you do notice that the waiters seem to be talking amongst themselves about something and kind of like, going like, what the fuck, or something like that a little bit. And then kind of like, seeing the woman in white kind of give them the eye and then kind of get back to work and so on and so forth. So there seems to be something that has kind of rattled the waiters a little bit.
Is there any way for me to use Shadow Cloak to get myself into that dining room without being really noticed?
You can certainly try.
I would love to try. It is for free for me.
Okay. So whilst you're doing that, whilst you're preparing yourself to cloak yourself in shadows and go down, just because Creep's actions now might impact all of that, so before we get too far ahead, you sidle up to the woman, Creep, who looks up at you and then looks back down at her thing, and then looks back up at you and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, did you need something?"
Yes, I was looking for a certain waitress. I believe her name
did
is
someone
Cecilia.
make a mess? I'm very sorry. It's
Oh,
difficult to get good help
no,
these days.
it's nothing like that. Could you please tell me where I could find Cecilia right now?
And as she does that, she's gonna go ahead and use compel on her, because she sees that fleur-de-lis and she instantly does not trust her.
And as you turn on the charm, you notice that even though there's no change in the light around, the pin that she's wearing glints for a slight moment. And you feel that your power still works. It's not blocking your power or anything. And she's like, yes, I'm sorry. If she made a mistake, we'll fire her immediately, and we'll of course compensate you for anything. She grabs the iPad, starts scrolling through. Do you have a family name? So I'm sorry, the waiters are just listed with the first letter of the first name and then their family name.
Well, then look for a C.
There's a few C's. I got 3 C's. Can you give me a bit more detail about her?
She... I think she begins to describe her, what she looks like.
Oh, yes, I think I know who you're talking about. She should be on break right now, actually.
Oh, and where do they do these things?
I don't know. I assume that they're probably out smoking in the parking lot.
Interesting. I didn't quite find her out there.
What's your name?
Elise.
Oh, what table are you? I'll send someone over right away, and we'll take care of whatever issue you're having.
Table 6.
Excellent. Oh, very good table.
Of course.
All right. Look, if I see her, I'll tell her you're looking for her.
That would be
and
wonderful.
to find you over at table 6. You're certain that there's no problem, because if there's a problem, we'll do whatever we need to fix it.
No, you see, me and my husband have taken a bit of a shine to her. Just wanted to have a nice little conversation.
Oh, well, I'm relieved. That's good. I'll definitely make sure to send her your way when she comes back from break. Like I said, you're welcome to see in the parking lot. That's where you usually congregate. Hopefully they're not out there smoking weed or something. No, they're a very good catering company. I don't think they do that.
Right. Do you work here for the hotel, or do you
No,
do
I
so
don't.
for
I'm
the
with
company?
the organizers of the auction.
Fresh my memory who that is, or does she know?
It's des entreprises du lys noir.
I smile. Okay. She is going to turn around and very slowly make her way back out of this kitchen, but she's looking around, looking for any clues, anyone else that she could possibly ask anything of.
One thing you notice is that the other two are gone. You see just Vico there, who is kind of like standing in the middle, waiting for you. Basically, the other two kind of having moved on as you stepped out, and he'll say, they've both gone into the ballroom. Do you want to go? And he lifts up his arm, extends his arm like for you to put your hand through the crook of it. He's well dressed, so it looks like he fits in.
She definitely kind of snakes into him, wrapping her arm up around his.
Vico, you are always welcome over to my place if you so choose to partake at any point in time.
I appreciate that. I'm not 100% sure if Fletcher would appreciate that. I do appreciate the offer.
Oh, do you have some sort of beef?
Nothing like that, but perhaps you should ask him sometime.
Oh, then I will. Shall we then?
Yes, I did want to say that I do feel very uneasy. There is something very wrong here, very strange here. I'll escort you inside, but I may have to step through a shadow or two to investigate something. But if you see Margot and I disappeared, tell Margot I'll be back as soon as I can.
She presses into him and lowers her voice.
Something is very amiss, Vico. When I spoke to that girl, I used compel on her, one of my funny little abilities that I have, and I noticed a strange glint on that fleur-de-lis lapel pin of hers. Does that strike you as odd? It didn't seem like a trick of the light.
Not much of a thaumaturgist. I might think that might be more your bailiwick, but certainly they're a company that is steeped into the occult, so I wouldn't put anything past them. As you step forward and towards the thing, the main room, Fiona, you have grabbed a tray, are moving through. What did you get on your roll?
I used a night move and I got a messy critical.
Are you going to spend an night move to avoid it, or are you going to roll?
Why would I do that when I could have way more fun with a messy critical?
You step through and things are going swimmingly. You're waltzing around, serving hors d'oeuvres, picking up another tray, moving around. You will notice, because of your knowledge of politics and all that stuff, you will notice that there are some heavy hitters here. But there's something strange also. The room, when you step into it, it's dark. It's full of shadows. It's as if the occupants are concerned about being recognized. All the tables are kind of in little pools of shadows, and it's like you would expect this to be like a brightly lit kind of thing, but it's all very mysterious and kind of, really shadowy. You also realize that for as many big hitters as there are here, there are also a lot of proxies. The people who sent their Goombas to bid on stuff for them and whatnot, and you kind of recognize the difference between the two. There's a veritable who's who of the business world, not so much the criminal world or anything like that here. It's very much political and business people that you recognize as you you hear As you're stepping through, one of the waiters, as he comes up to you and is refreshing his tray of drinks while you're doing the same thing, kind of without looking at you at first as he's refreshing his drinks, like, so did you hear about that? Did you hear about the other three? They took them away. And then he looks up and sees you and goes, I'm sorry, do I know you?
Oh yeah, sorry. I just started like last week. I'm a little new, but this is my first event.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Never mind. You can see he's kind of nervous and he starts pulling his tray.
What? Is something wrong? Are you okay?
He looks around and he says, yeah, it's probably just, there's probably just like a VIP room or something, but they took 3 of the waitresses away like a few minutes ago, and no one really knows where they went. I assume there's like a VIP room maybe somewhere or something like that, but usually those tip really well. So if ever you kind of like, hear that there is one and like there's kind of an opportunity to go, like I'd really get into it. I could really use the extra money. So give me a wink maybe or something.
Yeah, totally. Sorry, I missed your name. What was it?
Oh, my name's Keith.
Keith.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Trini.
Hey, Trini. Sorry, I got to bring these champagne floats over, but yeah, if you hear anything about the private room, let me know. Okay?
Oh yeah, Keith. Do you have any idea where they went? The other servers who went? No idea.
A couple of people came down and got them. I think they went up by the back stairs, but I
okay.
didn't see, yeah.
All right. Well, if I hear anything and they need extra help, I got you.
That's great. Thanks.
Bye, Keith.
Yeah. Nice to meet you. And he shuffles off with his tray.
And like she immediately, like as soon as she's alone, she's like, "Fuck." She's going to load up a tray of drinks, of like high end, like goes to the cocktail bar and says, "Oh yeah, we're getting around for the VIP. We just got asked to drop off these Negronis," kind of thing.
As you turn around and go to head to the bar, well, I didn't know you worked night shifts.
What voice do I recognize?
Your friend, Sergeant Detective St. Pierre.
I whip around, and with that same like bouncy ponytail moment, I go, "I'm sorry. Do I know you?"
Nah, you're not that good of an actress, doll.
And you've got stuff in your teeth. I have work to do. Bye.
Possible. Eating kale, trying to eat healthy, What are you doing here, Fiona? And he kind of follows you as you walk. I didn't picture you for someone who, likes to wait tables, at least not fully dressed.
I'm making ends meet, Fred.
Yeah. Times are tough. Well, I get it. I'm doing the same thing. Moonlighting, purity and
As
all that.
what?
Purity.
Oh, security. Excellent. Thanks, Fred. Unless you're going to help me take this tray of Negronis to VIP, I suggest you fuck right off.
Incredible. I hope they know who they hired. Don't steal the silverware.
Anyway, thanks, Fred. Would you point me to the VIP section? I just was asked to drop off this tray. So
There's no VIP section. The fuck are you on about?
Ah, right.
The entire thing is a VIP section. Do you see who's sitting at these tables?
Well, I'm looking for 3 girls who apparently are servers who went off to help out in the back room. So I'm looking for answers. So either do that or get out of the fucking...
You looking to help out in the back room too? Is that what's going on?
Oh, just looking to drop off the drinks that I was asked to drop off in the back room.
Oh. Sorry, just some woman dressed in white running around. I think she's running the show. Ask her.
You could ask her for me, security man.
Now, why would I do that?
I don't know. It's either that or I kill you.
Either that or you kill... threatening an officer of the law is a serious crime.
Is that what they call you? An officer of the law? I know a lot about you, Fred.
And I know a lot more about you now.
Right. that I like to make ends meet. So unless you're going to help me find VIP, get the fuck out of my way.
I told you, there's no VIP.
Sure. And I push past him.
As you push past him, Margot, you have found a quiet corner and wrapped yourself in shadows. And I'm going to ask you to give me a wits plus stealth roll.
Okay. I would love to do that.
Actually, you can make a dexterity plus stealth if you prefer, to be honest.
They're the same, so it doesn't make a difference. And I already clicked wits, so.
Elise, you received a hail from Ravenshaw.
That is 3 successes.
You manage to wrap yourself up in shadows enough that by sticking to the outside of the room, you can kind of slip through. And when you get inside the ballroom, you can see there's tons of shadows everywhere. So it kind of works to your advantage. And you start kind of sidling through, looking around, trying to spot Cecilia. You do not spot her anywhere. You're pretty sure you've seen almost all the waiters, but you don't see her anywhere. You do see, however, Fiona, who's now dressed as a waitress and is carrying a stack of drinks, stop to talk to a man you recognize. It is your fanciful police contact, Sergeant Detective St. Pierre.
Do I look like he's moving anywhere?
They seem to be having a pretty intense discussion, and then they kind of split up a bit, and then Fiona comes back and looks like she's threatening him. And then they split up again, and he kind of just stands there, but he seems to have a bit of a concerned look on his face when Fiona leaves him. And where is Fiona headed at this point? Are you going to the bar or to the lady room, or what are you doing?
I was planning on heading to the back stairs and examining first and making it look like,
Okay, so you see
like
her
seeing what I
kinda,
could see over there.
yeah, so you see Fiona kind of heading back towards the way you came originally.
I would like to try and use the shadows to my advantage and make my way over towards Fred is headed and try and like step out of the shadows and block his path.
Remind me how many successes you had on the stealth check that you just did?
I had 3.
Oh, okay, that's beautiful. You managed to kind of scooch around enough without really disturbing anyone. And you catch him just as he seems to be heading back towards kind of where the kitchens are, and you step out. He's like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ, Margot, fuck. You're gonna give a whole man a heart attack? Whew.
Shut the fuck up. Now listen.
Where the hell did you come from? Where the fuck? Where were you?
It doesn't matter. What matters is I've done a lot of favors for this city that directly benefit you and your police department.
I know.
Now I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah?
I'm looking for a girl. Her name is Cecilia. She works for this catering company, and I need to find her now.
Okay. First of all, I don't know her. I don't know anyone who works for the catering company, but did you check with the person running the show? Did you check the kitchens?
No kitchens. Would I've overheard the conversation between Elise and the head honcho lady, Fleur?
No, you
Okay.
kind of had already moved on
Yeah.
at that point.
She's not back there. I saw her come in through the service entrance, but now she's gone. This is life or death, Fred. I need your help.
Well, it's weird, but I just talked to this little ragamuffin that I know who's working there as a waitress tonight for some absurd fucking reason. Anyways, she says there's supposedly some kind of secret VIP room.
Fucking where?
I don't know. I haven't heard of any VIP rooms, but it's that. I was gonna say redhead. Is Fiona a redhead? No, it's
No, she's got like wavy black hair with a money piece.
Oh yeah, okay.
White streak.
It's that scary looking one there. The one that looks like she shivs people for a living. That's her. She's looking
look
for
over.
the room. I don't know if you want, and you see that it's Fiona.
I see this, Fiona, and I like kind of turn so Fiona might not see that I'm talking a little bit friendlier to Fred than she does.
Look, I'll ask around. I'll look. But yeah, I mean, you can always go and ask her. Maybe she's found out where. If she works here, she might know a bit more where the girls went.
I would imagine he has my cell phone number.
Yeah.
Don't text me. Just find me.
Okay.
Don't.
See what I can do.
Text me. Nothing written.
Gotcha.
I think
Emojis only.
This is probably the most manic and like obsessive that he has ever seen Margot, and stressed. This is like actual fear on her face. Normally she's very blasé with Fred and very despondent in her interactions, and now she is frantic, and it's written across her face. Yeah.
As you look over, you see that Elise is coming out of the back room with her arm linked in Vico's arm, and Fiona, as you're heading towards the back stairs, you're gonna run by them. Do you stop and say something, or do you just head for the back stairs? What do you want to do?
Oh, I think I would stop and like give a very knowing look to Elise and say, I think I found a way in.
Oh, then. I guess I'll come along.
You see the two of them talking, Margot.
I make my way over there and sort of knowingly looking at the stairs after talking to Fred. Wow. Is this an upstairs or a downstairs?
You're on the ground floor, and there's stairs leading up.
Okay. Do we make our ascent?
Perhaps I'm missing something here. Do we know where she is? Because I talked to the nice lady in white. We'll get back to that one at another time, but she said that she was on a break.
I don't think she's on a break. I think she looks directly at Fiona. I think you have received similar information.
That's right, but we gotta keep a low profile because there's a
We think there's
cop here right in my ass.
Oh, don't worry. I have something for that. You just point me in his direction and I'll tell him what he can do with himself.
Oh, I love that. If you'd only do me the one favor, though. I'm trying to tenderize him. See, I'd like to treat him like a little Wagyu beef after a little bit, so just don't kill him, because I'm not...
Oh, no. I'll just, brainworms. Get inside of him.
Sounds delicious. He's just over there, and I point out Fred.
I grab Elise by the arm. Maybe we just save our resources and energy for going up the stairs to a potential VIP room, possibly also to room 26.
Do you think he's going to stop us going upstairs?
No. I'm certain of it.
Well then, if he tries to, I'll put him in line, don't worry.
By all means, but in the meantime, just ignore him. He's an idiot, so...
Well, lead the way then. As long as I don't have to do any, sneaking about. I'm not always so great at that. I tend to attract the eyes of people, not deter them.
No bother.
While this is going on, Fiona, you get a text from Bruno that's just like a thumbs up.
I love that.
Vico says, as you're about to go up, he's like, he grabs you, Margot, and says, there's something really wrong here. And I'm talking about not here physically, but something else. I'm gonna have to go and check it out. I'll find you shortly. Just stay clear of the shadows. There's something rotten.
I need the shadows, Vico.
Yeah, you need to steer clear of them until I can figure out what it is.
Fuck.
Don't forget what I said outside, dear Vico. Don't always believe your eyes inside here.
Gotcha.
Be careful.
I'll find you. And he turns around and steps through shadows and disappears.
He just told me to stay away from the shadow. The fuck, this asshole.
I just want to say that I don't fucking trust that guy, all right?
The lay is good.
Good dick is a prison.
Some people would say it's a release, but sorry.
In this case. And you just see Fiona just like start making her way back towards the back room.
I think that I look at Elise and just sort of like shrug, like, it's true.
She shrugs in return.
And I follow.
You start heading upstairs, and I hope someone's clipping that line. You start going upstairs. Two floors up. Is a long, quiet corridor. You can see that there are no doors for rooms on either side of the wall. The place has a feeling that's both vintage and modern at the same time. A kind of attempt at recreating some kind of Asian decor and architecture with lacquered wood, intricately carved wooden trellises over rice paper walls. But it's just off somehow. There's recessed yellowish light that gives everything a garish gold color, and oddly enough, the place smells of flesh. At the other end of this corridor, you can see that there is a door, and you can see that there are these strange looking sculptures on these little cabinets along the way. The central part of the corridor is this tile that clacks as you walk on it. You approach the first of those sculptures on either side of the wall hallway. You realize when you get close to them that they're made of flesh, bone, and sinew. The skin is stretched until it has become translucent. There are blood vessels still working inside of these sculptures, changing the color of the light as blood pumps through them at irregular intervals.
Sick.
May I use a power inside this hallway?
You can try.
Yeah. I would like to use my ability Sense the Unseen.
Okay.
Essentially, the senses of the vampire become attuned to dimensions beyond the mundane, allowing them to sense presences otherwise hidden from the naked eye. This can be anything from another vampire using obfuscate to someone using auspex to spy upon the character to a ghost in the middle of the room. Dormant blood sorcery spells and rituals might also be found with this power at the storyteller's discretion.
Do you have to make a roll?
I do. I do not have to make a
Rouse
rouse check, however. Thank
Good for
the
you.
gods.
Good for you.
So system is whenever there's something supernatural hiding in plain sight, the storyteller makes a hidden roll of wits and auspex against a difficulty they choose. If I'm actively searching for hidden things, I use resolve and auspex, so I will roll that. And I will use a night move because I have a plethora of them.
The carnal
No fucking bestial crits this time,
Good.
but
You
I
still have
did
the
get
other one
10
pending.
successes.
Sorry, say that again?
I got 10 successes. One of those is a crit.
That's messed up.
You know what? I'm not sorry. I'm a specialist. I can't do much else.
Oh, so you're a specialist. That means that some of your 10s exploded. That's why you have so many successes.
No. I'm a specialist. Like I was saying that as like I specialize very specific traits with her. But no, I didn't roll anything that I'm a specialist in, though I am a specialist in some things.
Do 10s explode? I don't think 10s explode in this game.
No, so what happens is this. When you roll, if you get like an onk with pips, right, that's quote unquote a 10, but it doesn't do anything on its own. You need a second one. But when you get 2, they count as 4.
Yes, I got 2.
That's why.
Yeah, I have a crit.
So when you get a crit, which is 2 dice with pips, they become 4 successes. Because let's complicate things.
Yeah. So I can have 10 successes. That's why.
That's why I was like, you gotta have more than 1 crit, because that's how that works. Okay.
I think I could see the astronauts on the fucking moon right now.
You see, speaking of plethora, you see a plethora of ghosts. There are dozens of them just wandering aimlessly up and down these walls, floating through the walls and through the ceiling. They all have this very kind of melancholy hangdog look about them as they kind of move slowly through the place. You don't notice that there's any magic or anything else involved, at least not in the area that you're in currently. But you do sense that you're being watched. There is someone or something that is viewing you remotely and is aware of you.
But no indication of anything in this hallway that it could be using to view us.
Nope.
Okay. I'm assuming these ghosts don't notice me.
No.
Being that I can see them, could I potentially? I can't know. Do they have?
You need JD for that.
Psst. JD. We love you, JD. Do I notice anything special about these ghosts?
No, they just look like people who have died over the years. There's nothing really that connects them to one another.
I think very quietly she looks to her companions. We're being watched. There's so many dead here. Startling, really. The whole hall is littered with them.
Whilst Elise was busy scanning for unseen threats, what were Margot and Fiona doing?
I'm using Silence of Death. If that's okay with you.
Tell us what happened with that.
It's free, for free. But as with other obfuscate powers, this works on people within earshot. It silences me. It nullifies all sound made by me. And I would need to make a whole lot of noise to break this silence.
Okay, so it's by you. It's not an area of effect.
No, it's just me.
Okay. And what is Fiona doing?
I mean, Fiona's like a punch now, ask questions later kind of chick. I think she's probably like whatever like two-handed weapons she tends to use. She's got those just like tucked up into her sleeves, and she is just like sand dancing down the hall, like trying not to make sounds with her boots.
Okay. So a lot of you are moving forward. 2 of you fairly quietly. Elise kind of just clip-clopping her way down the middle of the hall.
There's no clip-clopping. I have no shoes on.
Oh, that's right, you have no shoes on.
Clip-clopping.
The floor is very cold.
I like it.
As you get towards the end of the hall, You notice that in front of the door there's this pedestal, and there's another sculpture there. And as you approach it, you realize that the sculpture is a human rib cage with a fused spine holding the various internal organs secured inside the thin, fleshy films. There's a brain that sits atop the spine like a crown. The whole thing glistens wetly, and with horror, you realize that the heart is pumping and the lungs are moving in this macabre living sculpture. Behind the sculpture is a door with the number 26. And as you are close to the door now, you begin to pick up the presence of an elder vampire behind the door. You realize that they are letting you sense them, because they are powerful enough that if they wanted, they could hide from you.
Does everybody sense them, or is it just Elise?
It's all of you. It's just your natural vampire. Holy shit, there's a meaner predator than me around kind of thing. The way you can sense ghouls and things like that. And because this vampire is quite old and quite low generation, it just radiates at this point because they want to.
Bleak, we know that the terrible child is not kindred. Right? Elise told us that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that Fiona has a moment of like, listen, do you smell that?
Yes. I can feel it.
Yep.
They know we're here. There's no sense in sneaking.
I think we're in a lot of fucking trouble.
Or we might have some sort of help.
Potentially. Won't know until we open the door, will we?
I think
Her eyes look to Fiona when she says this.
Margot's going for the door. She's putting the hand on the handle.
Put the hand on the handle. Nothing happens.
I turn it.
You turn the handle. The door opens.
I just kind of push it open without walking through the threshold.
You push it open, and it opens slowly, silently. And the overwhelming smell of blood and flesh washes over you. When you look inside, you see the decor of the room is a mishmash of Asian influences, all old and kind of mixed together. One wall displays old Japanese ink drawings. One wall seems to be splattered with old blood and gore. There are chains dangling from the ceiling. The third wall, the one right across from the door as you open it, is one of the most grotesque scenes you've ever witnessed. 7 bodies are encased in fleshy walls with only their faces protruding like masks hanging from a wall in decoration. Let's go around the table. Tell me, each of you, what do you do?
I'm gonna once again use my sense the unseen to push through this room with it.
Okay, make your roll.
Yep.
Fiona?
I think it's if Fiona could puke, she would, but she's not going to because she's the strong one. She's the lifter of the group. I think she's probably going to take it in and see if there's any immediate threat to their safety, followed by looking for where Cecilia is.
Margot?
I'm stepping inside of the room.
You step inside the room. Margot, go ahead and make me a wits plus investigation check.
No problem. Three successes, 3 normal, I think, successes, I can tell you. Yep.
Sorry, Fiona, you were looking to see if you could see so
I was
that
looking
that
for an
that
im-
roll, sorry, that roll should have been Fiona. The awareness.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm very sorry.
Sorry, what am I rolling?
Awareness plus wits. Or investigation plus wits.
Investigation plus wits. Sure you don't want awareness? Sure you don't want
Yeah, you can do awareness.
Okay, that'd be great. Why don't we go ahead and do sorry, I'm finding everything on Demimonde. It's always different. I'm gonna do a night move as well. So I get to add 1 die?
2 dice.
Oh, excellent. Hold on, wait, fuck. Sorry. Wits, awareness, plus 2 extra die. Okay. Then on my messy critical that I got earlier, I should have had an extra die in the pool, but I got 3 successes.
You're looking around. You don't see Cecilia. You don't see anybody else. What you do notice and what you do pick up on just before Margot stomps into the room is that the floor is covered in gore and various things, and that there are no tracks of anyone stepping into through this door recently until Margot steps through. Margot, you step in, and just before we get to you, let's do the other thing that happens at the door, which is Elise's sense the unseen.
For Varl, I did use a night move for this, and I got 6 successes this time.
Okay. You extend your senses. Sort of the same thing as in the hallway, in that there are ghosts flitting around. However, you sense that there is some sort of spell that prevents the spirits from in here from going outside, and vice versa. You can tell that there is a very powerful sense of magic in this room, and it's kind of otherworldly. And it's not a question of other specific rituals or anything like that. You don't notice any runes or any drawings or anything like that. It really feels kind of like the room itself in some ways is. Thank you, Bradley. Bradley, just throwing out making my life miserable here with all these night moves, but helps the player, so that's good. Thank you, Bradley. Appreciate you, man. Almost like the room itself, there's something about it that's otherworldly and evil. There's definitely a sense of evil about the room itself. And now is when you're going to get kickback on that messy critical that you got earlier.
Beautiful.
Because as you open up your senses, you're basically open up the door, and what has been looking at you is now looking inside of you. And you can feel it raking through your memories and everything inside of you. Now, I'm going to give you a chance to shut it out a little bit. We'll see how fast you manage to shut it out.
Okie dokie.
Go ahead, and you're going to give me a willpower roll. So you're going to roll a number of dice equal to your willpower.
Can I use night moves
You
on
can
this?
use night moves.
I'm gonna use night move.
Alright, let's see.
Working on the night moves. Trying to make the front page evening.
That's 2 successes.
So you manage to shut it down after a moment. You still
Okay.
feel like something went inside and looked around a lot. And just as you try to shut it down, you get the sense of it relenting and a little snarky laugh. And then it recedes.
Is it the same feeling I had as when the terrible child was looking inside of me?
Very similar. But I would say you know that it's not that. But it's kind of a similar slimy feeling.
Margot and Fiona would hear Elise remark to herself,
Oh, someone's a bit nosy, aren't they?
Margot. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just commentary of, is she talking to herself?
Margot doesn't know because Margot has stepped into the room, which is what GM's like. Margot has stepped into the room, and you see, kind of just around the corner, you see a couple of things. One, you see in the back, there's no bed, but you can see a velvet-lined box that appears to be filled with dirt. Kind of like a coffin filled with dirt. And as you kind of look over to the side, you see standing there a tall, emaciated figure wearing a rotting red silk kimono. You see that its feet are bandaged, but severely deformed. The figure is wearing a no mask. I don't know if you know what no mask are. There are these Japanese theater demon masks that has horns and chains embedded in the cheeks that dangle with bells, and red deformed eyes, and a bony protrusion that looks like a skull in the middle of the forehead.
Do I recognize this as the Elder or as something else?
You have no clue what this is. Oh, sorry. Yes, this is clear. Yes, the Elder Vampire. Sorry, I thought you were referencing something else. But yeah, that's the Elder Vampire.
Seeing the Elder there before me, I dip my head down as a moment of respect. Forgive me. I didn't mean to intrude on you, but I think I need your help.
You're very welcome, Margot. Your friends as well, Fiona and Elise. Please, I've been very lonely. Hey, readers. Thanks for showing up. Really appreciate you. Entropy Emporium, thanks for dropping in. We are playing Vampire. It is a game for mature audience, so please do decide for yourself if you wish to hang around and view this. As she speaks to you, Margot, you look closer and you realize that its lips are moving. And that is not a mask. Rather, her face, the bones exposed to form the whiteness of the face, and distorted to achieve the demon-like look. And you get a smell of old blood and a stench of gore that emanates from beneath the kimono. Welcome. I am Ruby.
This wouldn't happen to be your hotel, would it be, Ruby?
No, but I've lived there a long while. Are the other two stepping in, or are you still in the corridor, madam?
No, I think Elise can feel and see all that magic radiating in the room, that she would rather stay on the other side of that
I think Fiona's doing a very similar thing to Elise, whereas Elise is seeing all the magic radiating from that room. Fiona is seeing the what the fuck of that room and is staying on the outside with Elise, looking at Margot like, come on, kitty, like the cat that went out into the street that you like are trying to like very gently coax back. Like,
Ruby, I would imagine with all that you know and all that you are, you would understand that I've got a big problem here in Montreal.
Seems to me like everyone's got a big problem here.
Yeah, possibly. Everybody thinks their problems are their problems and they're the most important problems sometimes, and maybe that's the case. I think we all sort of take turns in having issues. I'm rambling. I don't normally do that, so forgive me. I'm just a little bit intimidated by everything here.
As you say that, she opens the fan and starts to fan herself. I understand. It can be a lot to take in.
It's been a long time since I've been afraid of anything. And while I'm not necessarily afraid of you, because if you were going to kill me, I think that you would have already done it by now.
I still may. Glides over, her feet not moving, like her steps are so small and so contained that it looks like she's gliding, and she moves over to this big chair and she sits down in it.
Well, if you do, then at least it'll be
Don't
a
say
worthy
quick.
death. No, I doubt that. Perhaps exciting for one of us. But
What can I do for you then?
do you know about a thing known as the Terrible Child?
Oh. The monster in red.
Yeah.
Yes. He's very nice.
Well, he's tormenting me currently.
Could see that.
He refers to me as his lover.
Oh, he's mentioned you.
Oh, great. That's so exciting. Are you in... I hate to use the word cahoots in this situation. It seems a little bit too serious for that, but it's the only word that's really coming to mind right now.
Oh, not quite sure what that means, but I assume you wonder if we are partners in some sort of way. We are not. He is rendering me a service. I am owed a debt, and he is seeing to its fulfillment.
And what service and debt is that?
Oh, he has to bring me 26.
Oh, no, don't say that, Ruby. I really wish you hadn't said that. That's really unfortunate.
Why?
I think one of the 26 he's going to bring you is somebody really important to me. And I also sort of ruined his other 26. That was my fault.
Oh,
But yeah, so I didn't know it was for you.
I don't... You didn't ruin anything. I had 26 once, as per our arrangement. I kept them safe in this room for a long time, but then I had to let them go, but I need 26. You see, 27 we were. 23 plus 3 of my blood. Then the Camarilla came and forced us out of our home. They went and I stayed, but my deal with the woman in blue is 26, 23, and 3. I must have my friends. Now, they asked me to release the first 26 and I did. But I still need 26. And so now he is bringing me 26 new ones. I already have 7, she motions to the wall.
Who was saying that you must have 26, and who you said they? Is he working solo? And like Fiona's just kind of like leaning in the door, like trying not to like get any blood on her boots.
Fiona, what is your question?
Oh, I was just so what? So you need 26, and you had 26, but why were you told this? You said that they told you had to let him go.
They needed them for something. I was keeping them for them.
Who is them?
Who's lady in blue.
Great. Okay. So, but then they said, "Oh, we'll get you a fresh batch," like kind of changing over the oil to fry the French fries.
Well, I told them that I wouldn't release the other 26 unless they brought me 26 new ones, and they agreed. I must have 26. They were my friends.
What do you do with them, Ruby?
They keep me company. They keep me fed. I keep them fed. They are beautiful to look at, don't you think? I practice on them sometimes. I need sometimes to refresh the sculptures outside. I need fresh material.
Okay, one of them you can't have. I'm so sorry, Ruby. Anybody else, but one of them that I think that he's taking off limits. I'm asking as a favor. I would hate to be in debt to you. I feel like that's a huge debt to have. However, I'm asking you as a woman who is very desperate right now.
I can sense your desperation. It is very tasty. But yes, absolutely. I have no problems. I do not require that they be a specific 26. Who will you give me in exchange?
There's a cop downstairs.
You hear Elise from the back.
And you hear Fiona just like crack her neck like, I was saving him for a snack.
What do you want other than another one? I'm sure your terrible child can get you another one, but...
Well, you're the one asking me. What would you give me?
I don't got a lot, Ruby.
You have blood. You have delicious blood.
How much
touched
blood
with a tinge of darkness.
Yeah, well, I didn't really have a choice in that matter, but that was a long time ago.
I bet you it's very tasty. We'll say visit me once a month for a number of years equal to the age of the person that you wish me to relinquish.
Deal.
Perfect. I hope you understand that reneging on this deal would not be good.
Yeah, I got you. Listen. Once he's done what he needs to do, I don't want to interfere with whatever it is that you're doing here out of respect for you. I have use for him and not in a good way.
I only need him to bring me my 26. He means nothing to me beyond that. He's not one of us.
How much do I got of a chance that I got against him in a more violent sense?
I don't know. I would assume he's pretty easy to destroy. He must be quite flimsy. He appears to be human.
Oh,
Fiona?
That's right. So you had 26, and then they asked you to give up the 26, and they'll get you a new 26 for your lovely art hobby here.
Yes.
When did you first receive that first batch of 26, and was he the one that brought it to you? I'm just trying to get a sense of maybe how old he is, and
the year of the Olympics.
Oh, the one when it was here, which was
Yes.
76. Oh, interesting.
It was him, but it wasn't him. There was a different one
you
at the
elaborate?
time. There was a different one at that time.
Oh, it's like the title was someone. It's like the title of the terrible child
That's possible.
was handed because this is a human. You said.
She scratches herself, and you get the sound of nail on bone that sort of echoes through the room. You say so.
Oh, right.
No.
Okay.
I have a question for you, Ruby.
Yes.
And if you don't have the answer, I understand, but I'm just curious. Why is he obsessed with me?
You'll have to ask him.
He hasn't mentioned a cause.
He just says that he is very attached to you. That his grandmother also is very attached to you.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
I assume he has a grandmother. He is human.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I had a grandmother too at one point. What the fuck? What's his name? His real name?
I don't know.
What does he look like?
He wears all red with a mask that's red and a cap that is red.
You've never seen beneath the mask.
No, I've never needed to.
Have you heard his voice before?
I have. It changes
does it
often.
Could you, with your immense power, considering the fact that you might have this ability, is there any way that you could emulate what his voice sounds like? Or what it sounded like recently? Or does it change every time you speak to him?
I'm sorry, I don't know how to help you with that.
You hear Elise in the background. Does nobody ever listen to me when I tell them things?
Where is he now?
Down the hall. The third panel on the right conceals the door. That is where he lairs when he comes here.
Thank you, Ruby.
My pleasure, Margot.
Most grateful.
I'll see you in 1 month's time.
Very good.
Do not make me come out of this place.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Good. Good
And-
evening, Fiona. Good evening, Elise. I found it quite interesting to look inside of you. If you ever get bored, you come and visit me.
Perhaps.
I think
This is the most fair she's ever felt in front of another kindred. You could tell she's very uncomfortable right now, kind of shifting on the balls of her feet.
What do you do?
Margot backs away slowly, back out into the hall.
Good evening.
Goodbye, Ruby. And I close the door. Well, I guess I have a standing date with a vampire.
Fuck.
An elder. Probably not my best decision to be made, but not the worst.
I do want to stress that you've never heard of an elder Zinshian city. Her reference to the 70s and being ousted was probably when the Sabbat were ousted by the Camarilla and pushed out of the city. So your idea is that she was Sabbat and stayed behind and has been hiding here. But that nobody else would have ever known that she was here or mentioned her is really strange. Like,
Well-
a vampire of that age and magnitude being completely so known that there are not even rumors of her is really, really strange.
And Cecilia wasn't on her trophy wall?
Nope.
No.
So it's probably pretty likely that your girl's still alive, so maybe we should try and look for her.
I want to see what behind that panel looks like.
Yeah, tread lightly, Dove. I feel like there's lots of spooky shit. It's like the worst haunted house in the world.
It's really haunted.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this one's creeped out, and that takes a lot, I think. She points to Elise.
I have to see it. All this hunting for all this time, I have to see it.
He's very dangerous, Margot. But perhaps he has Cecilia in there.
I need you to understand something. I'm not dying until he does.
I need you to understand that you may not get that option.
I'm looking at the panel.
You move to the panel, and as you approach it, you start hearing a sound that wasn't there before. There's a sound of... The best thing you can say is like televisions maybe turn to like a snowy channel, or the color bar channels with a ding kind of going on underneath it.
I look for a way to open the panel up.
You look around and you realize it's just a simple matter of pushing it aside.
I do so.
You uncover a door behind it.
I put my ear to the door. Do I hear anybody moving?
Not really. I think the sound of the TV is pretty much all you get, plus a little bit of the music from downstairs.
I look back at Fiona and Elise. I wouldn't fault you for leaving.
We must find that girl. I'm not going anywhere until I see her.
We made a promise, love.
I open the door up.
You open the door. Inside the room, you see a whole wall covered in old televisions. There's like 12 or 15 old televisions, all stacked on top of one another, all turned to a dead channel or to the color bar channel. The carpet is soaked in dried blood. You can see that there are empty body bags hanging from the ceiling, very similar to the bags that you found the 26 in when you found them in the warehouse. Some of them, you can tell, still have wet blood inside of them. 3 of them are currently filled with bodies. On the wall, as you walk in, you see a few things. On one wall, you see a set of pictures, and you recognize many of the people in them. One is of you, Margot. One is of Vico. There are a number of other vampires pictured. One you think is named Xavier, a La Sombra also, that you don't know that well because he's in the city above. Another wall, brick wall, is painted black, and on it you see an image. You see in neon 3 inverted crosses, one blue inside of it, a red one inside of it, a white one, all in neon lit up, and inside of the white one a black cross. You see a crown and a sort of spiral beneath it. You see handwriting, some occult symbols. You see 2 triangles, one white one standing upright, one black one inverted. And you see the words grandmother, daughter, and infant. And the way they're placed one under the other makes them look like an inverted pyramid. And near that wall, you can see the wall itself is apparently made of darkness that moves and undulates. It looks very oily. Let's go around the three of you. You are stepping in, Margot. What else do you do?
I step to that wall. Does it remind me of the oubliette?
No, not really. Everything that you see here is kind of outside your knowledge. There's nothing that really kind of stands out too much. You've seen the triangles here and there before, obviously, but there's nothing else. The darkness itself, if that's what you're referring to, does kind of have a similarity to it, but it's almost like if the abyss, when you go into it, is the ocean, this is the ocean after an oil spill.
I sort of just grimace over it and very slowly reach out to touch it.
And as you're doing that, what is Fiona doing? And what is Elise doing? Fiona.
Kato's screaming. Fiona is... I think Fiona has Margot's 6, just for safety. If anything fucking creepy jumps out of a wall and tries to kill her, Fiona's going to be there to make sure she's essentially the like tether to like pull her back if something goes wrong.
Elise is not walking into this room. She is going to pause at the doorway and once again use her sense the unseen, pushing it out into this room.
Oh.
I will be using a night roll with this roll once more. And that is 4 successes.
There's nothing like spirits or anything like that hovering about the room. The only thing that feels like it has any sort of magical power is that weird kind of oily wall, and some of the writings and some of the symbols on the wall definitely hold power.
Okay. I think seeing that the room is, unlike the other one, not coated in magic entirely, she will step inside and kneel down to these bodies and give them a once over.
So the bodies are not on the ground; they're suspended in these body bags, these clear plastic body bags.
Oh,
there's a bunch of them. Most are empty, but there's 3 that clearly have someone in.
yeah. She's gonna go towards those.
Hey, Playmat, thank you very much for the raid. We appreciate you coming in, swooping in with your friends. We are playing Vampire the Masquerade, and it is for a mature audience, so please do decide for yourself if you want to watch this content. We hope you'll stick around with us and see what kind of weirdness we got going on. Thanks for coming in, Matt. Appreciate you, man. You walk in, start checking them. Just before you do that, as you go to touch, or as you're doing that rather, as you go to touch that oily darkness, Margot, you hear a voice coming from the corner of the room that says, "There are easier ways to meet grandmother if you really want to. She's very fond of you, you know."
I whip my head around as quickly as I can to that corner.
You see I hesitate to say your friend there, but certainly the person you are looking for. Standing in the corner, very creepily, just kind of standing there in the corner with his head cocked.
Well, face to face at last. Ghost for a ghost.
Been face to face so often, Margot. I'm sorry I couldn't let you know.
Do I recognize this voice at all?
The voice has this weird quality where it's often changing. just slightly. Almost like there's a bunch of voices that are completely in unison, and once in a while one of them kind of peeks out a little bit or something.
I step closer to the terrible child. Just a couple paces.
No, it's not fair. You know nothing about me, and I know so much about you, Margot. You know that everywhere darkness goes, I can see, right? I saw all your files in Dr. Michel's office. Nice
Don't talk
handwriting,
about
that
him.
man.
Don't talk about Dr. Michaud.
You seen the notes he has on you? They weren't very flattering at first, but they certainly change as time goes by.
You don't know anything about that.
Grandmother whispers all your secrets to me. He wants you to come home, back to the dark with us. But that's not what you're here for, is it? And while this is going on, so Elise, you're checking the body, and I'll get to you in a second. What is Fiona doing?
Sorry, to clarify, when Margot touched the wall, did she go through like...
She hasn't touched it yet. Like he
No.
talked to her, and
so he's in the
stopped her.
corner. Am I hearing this?
Yes.
Okay. I think I just like low mutter, Margot. Come on, girl. This is not the time.
Where is she?
At the bags, Elise, you are checking them quickly. You see 3 of the waiters. They're still alive. They seem to be in some kind of comatose state, perhaps, or something like that. They're hanging in these bags. You can tell that they've been fitted with feeding tubes.
Are any of them Cecilia?
Yes, one of them is.
While those two are talking to the terrible child, am currently trying to release Cecilia as quietly and swiftly as I possibly can from this bag.
You start unzipping. He doesn't react. You pull her out. She appears to be unconscious. You start slipping her out of the bag. Meanwhile, Margot. You came for her, right?
I made a bargain.
Did you really think I'd hurt her?
I don't give a fuck what you think that I thought you would do. The business you have with me is between me and you, not her.
False, but I will admit that perhaps targeting her is a little out of bounds. I did give you a warning that I would. I did give you a warning that I would target her. I sent you that video. So you knew this was a possibility. I told you the rules of the game. You simply opted to ignore them. But I needed you here because grandmother wanted to take a good look at you. And she wanted me to offer to come back to us. A lot of the others are joining us. Going back to the dark.
What others?
All the others of your blood in this city.
You're not one of them.
No. A leech? No, absolutely not. I'm a human being.
That is questionable there. I think the word you're looking for is bitch.
That hurts
So
my
you are.
feelings.
Good.
You can take her.
When will it stop?
When you join us, or when grandmother decides that she's done with you.
Who is grandmother?
You want to meet her?
I look back at Fiona. I have a chance to end this now.
You also have a chance to get yourself fucking killed. And I make my way over to Elise to help, like, firemen carry Cecilia over my shoulder.
You're not going to rescue the other two? I can keep those?
Can I? Didn't know if that was an option.
Sure. I do not have the power to stop you.
Why are you making this so easy on us?
Because this is not the point of this.
Elise is unzipping the bags. Hurriedly, not quietly.
I'm about to tell you what the point is, and I will at the appropriate moment.
Oh, you're one of those.
This is a game. I've told you, Margot, we're playing.
I understand you think that this is a game, and sure, give me the rules, play the game. I don't give a fuck. The end result is you fucking dying. And I am going to go ahead and take my asp out.
Before you proceed with killing me, one question you should ask yourself. How certain are you that that's the real Cecilia? Are you certain you have the real one? You there, would you mind taking a look outside the window for a second? Looking at Fiona.
I glance at Elise like, fucking smoke and mirrors, huh?
Elise reaches out and puts her hands on Cecilia.
Do you go to the window?
Yeah, I'm gonna glance out the window just to see what this
When you
asshole's
do,
on about.
you see two people take Cecilia, stuff her in the back of a van, and roll out. Are you certain you have the real one? I guess you'll have to live with not knowing.
Elise, if you could use some of your magic, perhaps.
Does she feel anything when she touches Cecilia? Does the tattoo on her body give her any inkling of a clue?
There's nothing going on with your tattoos, though.
And if you can refresh my memory in the past when I've gotten close to these people, it
usually
has
there's
affected.
been yeah.
I don't think it's her.
But you've seen a lot of magic denting things, a lot of weird things here tonight. There's a possibility that it could be.
I won't know until we get her out of here. Regardless, we're saving these people.
Have fun.
Don't be a fool, Margot.
I lift my asp up and I point it directly at him. Everybody has their time of reckoning, myself included, and most importantly, you.
And as you say that, you hear a scream, and from the patch of oily darkness on the side, you see Vico come rolling out, torn to shreds, his clothes ripped up, battered to all hell. He rolls, climbs, falls out of that darkness. You see these long black arms reaching out to grab him. One of them grabs him, and you see 1, 2 arms, then another 2 arms come out, then another 2 arms. There's these 6 arms that reach out. He's got his tentacles sprouting from shadows beneath him and around him. They're batting away the hands and trying to grab them. One of them claws right into his chest. What do you do?
I hit the hand with my asp.
Fiona?
I'm big strong boy. I'm gonna dive in and try and get like a purchase around Vico to like yank him through.
Elise?
I would imagine that Elise kind of falls to the floor and helps the person that Fiona probably just dropped.
Sorry, I may be smart, but I'm also big and dumb.
You drop the
Elise knows that
body.
she's not useful here.
Elise reaches out, starts pulling the body away. Margot, give me a roll. Give me your strength plus melee roll.
Yep.
And Fiona, give me a strength plus athletics roll. You do have, I do believe, unyielding grasp.
I do. I've got relentless grasp.
Relentless grasp. Yeah, that's it.
I would like to do relentless. Well, the thing I worry about with relentless grasp is I don't want to tear Vico in half.
Yeah, but you know, you can control that strength.
Okay.
But
and
you
I
have to do a
just need-
rouse check.
Can I do a rouse check with a night move?
No.
I would
Oh, right. I can.
also like to use a night move. I'm just adding 1 to my dice pool.
Two for your dice pool if you spend the night move.
I'm spending a night move.
Alrighty.
That's a rousing success, and I would like to use a night move as well to add 2 more dice.
Right, so for the record, next time you have to spend the dice before you roll.
I rolled the rouse check for the ability.
Oh, okay,
I haven't
so you're-
rolled.
Okay,
Yeah,
I gotcha.
yeah. So I added a night move to my athletics plus strength. Do I get an additional thing with relentless grasp?
Relentless grasp. It allows you basically, once you get a hold of someone or something, like it's almost impossible to break your hold on them,
Cool.
short of dismembering you. So you add your potence rating as automatic successes to any attempt that involves holding on to something. In your case, it'd be 3 as automatic successes.
3 automatic successes plus 5 to the. So I got 8 successes.
Excellent. So you start pulling them out, and you're pulling so strong that some of the arms are snapping as you're pulling them out. Margot, go ahead. What was your attack roll?
I got 5 successes. It was a messy critical, and in the spirit of keeping our messy criticals, I'm keeping it.
You come in and sing, "Hello, Quinn the Mad. Thank you so much for the raid. We really appreciate it. You came in just as things are about to get hairy. You come in swinging with your stick, and you hit the hand. And as you do, Fiona, pulling Vico away, snaps one of the limbs that sort of shoots out and trips you over, and you fall face first into the darkness. Half of you is in the darkness, and Fiona, you see hands right away let go of Vico and start to grab at Margot and start to pull her in to the darkness. Let's go back around the table. What are you doing, Elise?
At 1 strength, am I strong enough to pick this girl up?
Do you have any athletics?
Yeah, 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'll say you can probably like kind of half pick her up, half drag her out of there.
Yeah, I think she's got like her arms wrapped under like her chest and is lifting her and like dragging her backward out of the room and making her way to an exit.
No problem. You pull her out. Fiona, what are you doing?
Okay, so sorry. Vico has been dislodged and is out
Vico,
of harm's
you've
way.
pulled him kind of out, and the arms have stopped going after him. He looks really bad. The arms have stopped going after him. His arms of the abyss are still kind of battling some of them. A couple of the arms have switched over to Margot and are pulling Margot into the darkness.
I am going to, with all my might, like stomp down on them and try to like break, like as if I would be trying to break a femur, or not a femur, a forearm.
Give me strength plus brawl.
Yeah, let's fucking go. I am going to use a night move because we have 1 million of them and I'm very delighted.
Mm-hmm.
So that is going to put me up to rolling a shit pile of dice. Oh boy. That's 9 successes.
Anything fun in there, like a...
I have 2 unks with 2 pips on them.
Is one of them red?
No.
Okay,
That's
good. So that's a critical. So you got 4 successes out of those 2 rolls. But since you don't have a red pip, then you're safe. You go to town, just grabbing these arms, snapping them, pushing them back, stomping on them. You're like this murder machine, just ripping these arms. They're like stick arms in you as you break them.
I I feel like Fiona's like orbital bones and like they like sharpen and she's got these wild like ice blue eyes and her fangs come out. She is just going ham.
As you're pulling them out, as you break them, they turn into this oily, viscous liquid that just starts to cover you and seep into your clothes and drip down into your sleeves and whatnot. You're covered in it as you're ripping them apart and sort of breaking them. Margot, you're kind of half into the darkness now, and you clearly know that you're in the abyss. And as you're there, before you tell me what you want to do, which you will be able to in a second here, you immediately see, kind of skittering back a little bit, kind of almost very insect-like, a figure. It looks like a woman that would be covered in dark oil that has dried up a little bit. There's long black hair that's kind of reaching down. You can see several of these arms that are reconstituting themselves. As she pulls them in broken, they immediately start reconstituting themselves, and they start reaching out again as she skitters back. And as you kind of fall into the darkness and the arms are kind of pawing at you, trying to grab you, you hear a very grandmotherly voice say, "Oh, I'm so glad to meet you, honey. Finally. Come to us. My grandchild has told me so much about you. Come, let me get a good look at you, sweetie." And she grabs you and starts pulling you into the abyss. What do you want to do?
Do I get a sense, Bleak, that we are par for par in this abyss?
Not in the fucking least.
I was wishful thinking. I have a second question. Using Traveler's Call, would that be beneficial to me in this moment?
Well, who do you want to call? Aside from Ghostbusters?
Dr. Michaud.
So normally it's a ritual, so you have to kind of do preparations and do stuff. However, since you are in the abyss, I will allow you to spend a night move.
I will spend a night move.
And call out. And when you do, what do you say?
Help.
And in a moment, you see in your mind an image of him. You haven't seen him in a while, but you assume he still looks the way he did. And you see him looking at you very concerned, very sincerely, and remove his glasses. And as he does, he says, "Close it. You have to close it. If there's anyone else there that can help, they have to help. You have to close it. If you don't close it, you are gone."
How do I close it?
You know how to open and close these things. But you have to be outside or all the way inside. But then you're in with her.
I think she takes a moment to look at his face, and she remembers the time she had in the sanatorium with him and how gentle he was, and how for the first time in her entire life she felt important to somebody. And she just pushes with the air in the abyss as hard as she can to get out.
What are you doing outside, Fiona? You can see the arms are starting to come back out as you break them. They kind of come back out. You can see that Margot is kind of trying to push herself back out of this thing.
I grasp her forearms like this, and I just say, "Knuckle down, chick," and I just pull as hard as I can to pull her free.
Okay, so Margot, you're going to roll your strength in athletics, and you're going to add the 3 automatic successes that Fiona gets for her potence, for her relentless grasp to your roll.
Okay, so I'm rolling strength and athletics.
plus 3 dice. Plus you don't have to add 3 dice. You have 3 automatic successes.
Okay. That is 4 successes plus the 3 automatic successes, so 7. Math.
The two of you working together manage to extricate Margot from this hole, and as you do, you can see Vico, who's trying to kind of get himself up to go to start go towards it. He looks up at you. Are you all right?
I have to close it.
All right. And he starts getting up and he reaches out to it with you. Go ahead and make me a intelligence plus occult roll.
Okay.
Fiona, the hands are still reaching out and trying to grab people. What do you want to do about that?
If it looks like the La Sombra have this handled...
Well, it looks like they're trying to close this thing. They're going to be pretty defenseless as these arms are grasping. There's like 5 or 6 arms that are out there trying to grasp them and pull them in again.
Knives out, baby. And I'm just like whipping, like it is like true old school knife fight. And she is just like hacking at any of the arms coming out to prevent them from stopping them from sealing it.
So make me a strength plus melee roll. And for every, I'm going to tell you, for every success you get, you'll be able to break off 1 arm.
Brilliant. Okay, then can I stack night moves?
Yes.
I'm going to use 2.
Okay. Margot, what'd you get on your occult and intelligence roll?
I'm going to go ahead and use a night move as well.
Okay. Remember to use your night moves before you roll, right?
Yes. I got 7 successes. 1 is a messy critical. I would like to use a night move to not make it a messy critical.
Oh, the second you said messy critical, I knew what I was going to do to you. Damn.
All right, fuck it. YOLO. Do it.
No, it's okay. No, please go ahead. Spend it.
Okay.
It's okay. It's perfect.
I'm going to spend it.
Fiona, what did you get?
According to Demiplane, I got 6. 2 of those are an Ankh with 2 pips.
That's fine, as long as they're not red.
They're not red.
Okay. You guys have so many night moves right now, it's totally nuts. You got like in the 20s. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I've never seen so many night moves. I've never seen so many.
We're going to convert some of that into XP after the game. You managed to... how many successes again?
Ooh.
6.
6. Exactly what you needed. You swing with your knives. You're reaching out, and as the arms are reaching out for them, you're cutting them off. And just as you get the last one, the 2 of them working together manage to close this thing, and you can see the wall become solid again. And you hear this old grandmotherly voice as it closes say, "I look forward to seeing you again, baby." And the thing closes. Meanwhile, outside, Elise, you are half carrying, half dragging Cecilia with you. As you're heading for the stairway, you hear, "Where are you going?"
I glance up.
And you see the terrible child.
I said I could have her, so I'm taking her.
I don't think that's a good idea, because I think you know a little too much.
Me?
Yeah, you said something
Right.
about being able to determine whether or not this was real. And see, that doesn't work for me, because I need Margot to wonder. I need Margot to agonize, to know that she has someone in her hands that may or may not be Cecilia. What would she do? Will she abandon her? Will she care for her? I don't need you messing that up, so I'm going to have to ask you to leave her here with
I
me.
can't do that. I can't do that. I'm sorry.
That's very unfortunate. And he pulls what appears to be like a bone saw out from a scabbard behind his
She
belt.
very quickly does the "I need you to go away now, please," and in like a flailing attempt, hoping that he reacts to it, she's going to use her compel against him.
Go for it. I think it works automatically against humans too.
It does, yes.
He draws the blade, and then you can see him, and he turns around and he dashes off into the other direction.
Time to go fast now, darling. And she just, like, her little feet are going as fast as they can, dragging this girl backwards. Is there, like, an elevator or something?
No, there's just the stairwell. There's no elevator. There's just a stairwell.
Oh, God. She just... I'm so sorry. And you just hear the, like, thunk, 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 thunk behind her as she's dragging her down the stairs. And, like, mumbling to herself, I really do hope they get the rest of them, these poor babies.
Inside the room, the three of you are lying on your backs, exhausted. Vigo looks really bad.
Can I let him feed for me?
Yeah, you can.
I would like to.
He reaches on very gratefully and bites into you and drinks and is very careful not to overdo it. And then after a moment goes, I thought for sure I was gone.
Didn't you say to stay out of the shadows, Vico?
I had to go and find out what that was.
You curious cat, man.
Yeah. And now I know. I'll tell you all about it. It truly is the grandmother, and that's really bad. We can't go in there anymore. We can't go in there. We have to warn the others. We have to find all the others and tell them that she's in there. She's coming for everyone and everything.
We gotta go.
I'll tell you about it later. Let's go. Are we taking those two with us? See
Yeah.
the other two waiters?
Yeah.
I got it. And Fiona just like fully scoops them both. And
You head outside. Where's Elise going?
Oh, she's bringing whoever the hell this is, hopefully Cecilia, to the SUV that
I had
Girl
thought you had grabbed
Faraday's-
Cecilia specifically.
Huh?
I had thought you had grabbed Cecilia specifically.
Yeah.
the
He's just,
illusion.
telling her that it's not really Cecilia that you're holding.
okay.
Ha 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 ha. Regardless, she's bringing this person who she wants to believe is Cecilia out to the SUV that is idling in the parking lot with Faraday sitting in it.
All right. So let's do this. Let's just see whether you get to that before the others come out or not, unless you're going to wait for them.
Oh no, she's not waiting for anybody. She's
Okay.
trying to do this very swiftly and very in a way where maybe she can navigate where she doesn't have to go through where all the fucking humans are to be obviously dragging a body out.
Okay, so
This
that's
is
going to take some time. So what I'm
Mhm.
going to I am going to ask you to roll, and we'll do it very simply. We're just going to do a D10 roll. So if Bones, if you want to roll a D10, and Creeps, you want to roll a D10, and tell me what you get. And
Can I use a night move to get an automatic success?
sure, Bones, do you want to use a night move to get an automatic success?
Absolutely, I do.
Bidding war.
Can I also just add to the chaos and tell Bruno to start a fire in the parking lot?
Oh, sure, absolutely. No
Yeah.
problem.
Away
Yeah.
from the idling SUV.
Oh yeah, no. Fiona's gonna have the fucking scuzz punks just like start a fucking like loud ass rager party with like multiple fires in trash cans that
Trash
like
fire.
the rich
What kind
people
of
are
vibe?
gonna be mad is happening outside of their bougie ass party.
So here's what we're gonna do. You're not gonna spend 9 moves because you're just gonna keep spending 9 moves on against. It doesn't matter. So both just roll a D10.
Oh, I didn't realize I was rolling against Margot. That's fine.
Oh. Well, I'll just give her the success.
What are you doing? I have no clue what's going on.
Okay, I'm rolling a d10.
Roll a D10.
Okay. I got one success.
I don't want a success. I just want you to tell me what the number is.
It doesn't tell me the number.
Oh.
I rolled a 4.
Let me see.
So Bones would have naturally rolled higher than me because his success is a 6.
There
So
you go.
Bones got it.
Excellent. So, hey, Grouch Couch, thank you for joining us. As you're loading Cecilia into the truck, the rest of you come out. You see Elise is helping Cecilia inside the truck. And as you come out and are heading towards there, out of the corner of your eye, Fiona, you notice 2 people coming out as there's fire, a bunch of stuff going on the other side. Alarms are going. People are starting to kind of leave the hotel. And out of the corner of your eye, you notice the man that you've been looking for, Tanner, along with his bodyguard, who are sort of walking out of this place and heading for obviously an F-150 Ford pickup truck.
Cool. Great. In the midst of this, I'm going to set these 2 people down and look to Margot and be like, sorry, you're going to have to figure this one out. And I am going to dead sprint, tackle this guy, and try and scruff him and drag him back into the SUV.
You run over. I'll say you managed to tackle him. The bodyguard is there, and he's like going to try to stop you.
Hilarious.
What would you like to do? You could do dread gaze and get with a rouse check and maybe get him to fuck off.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best bet because I feel like if I hit this guy, he's going to try and hit me back.
That is going to breach the masquerade.
If I dread gaze or if I kick him?
If you dread gaze. Briefly exposing their vampiric nature, the user instills a single subject with utter terror.
Oh, you know what I'm going to do instead? I am going to use Spark of Rage and get the Scuzzpunks to cause enough of a riot to get me so I can separate Brooks from his bodyguard.
I like it. Give me a rouse check.
Excellent. Rousing success, baby.
Excellent. Manipulation plus potence.
You bet.
Margot, what are you doing meanwhile as Fiona has dumped the two other people and has run off and you're kind of helping Vico stand?
I guess I am saying you can walk, right? And picking up the 2 people.
Yeah, I'm all right. And he kind of tries to help you.
You're in athletics and
No,
strength.
you're good. Where are you going?
I guess to go find Elise wherever she went.
Yeah, you see her getting into a vehicle that is started, and she has, with difficulty, hauled Cecilia in the back of the vehicle.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No.
I was gonna say I'm gonna use, just for Varl's sake, because I'm using night moves, like my job depends on it. I'm gonna use 2. Thanks, Bradley. You're the best.
I guess Margot's gonna head straight for the SUV.
Okay. Go ahead, Fiona. Tell me what you get.
I'm rolling 11 dice right now.
So much potential for terrible things to happen. Oh, what did you do?
I got 8 successes. I got 1 onk with 2 pips, and then 1 red onk with 2 pips.
That is a messy critical.
And I had to use 2 night moves to do that, so...
Are you going to use another one?
To re-roll that whole mess? Do I lose?
No, you don't re-roll. You would spend 1 to ignore the fact that it's a messy critical.
I think because this is the thing that Fiona does best, is this like riot starting thing. And because there's a definite scare of the possible breach of the masquerade, yes, I am going to use another night move to negate the messy part of that critical, just for safety.
Good, because it would have been pretty bad.
Yeah, I know you. Like, you think I don't?
With the number of successes that you got, I will let you narrate and tell me what happens and what you do with them in that moment.
I think that there's like a specific chant that Fiona, like if someone initiates it, everyone knows that that is the code word, and it rallies up these like Montreal fucking grungy punks who, and like You see them kicking over trash cans. They're coming over to this shiny ass F-150, and you've got like 5 or 6 of them on the side just shaking it and trying to tip it over. The bodyguard's like freaking out, caught in the melee of it. And while that is all happening, Fiona just like grip on the back of Tanner's neck and goes, "We're going for a little walk, cutie. Come
Who
with
the
me.
fuck are you?
Come with me." And I just like bap him on the head, knock him out, and drag him to the SUV.
Which SUV would that be?
The one that Bruno probably got for me.
All right, I
imagining-
was just
yeah.
wondering if it was
No.
Elise's SUV.
No. I toss him in and I look at Bruno and I go, "Do not let this one go.
Gotcha.
You know where to put him."
I like the idea of Elise's SUV becoming like a pseudo kindred clown car, though.
It's about to be.
You have to be careful because if it gets too filled up and becomes a bus, Father Dubois is gonna fucking ride it.
No.
Margot, you're heading towards the SUV where Elise is. Elise, you just kind of got in and you've got Cecilia. You see that Margot's heading towards you. Faraday looks in the mirror, looks at you and goes, "Am I stepping on it? Or are you waiting?"
Wait.
Is Vico coming as well?
Yes, Vico is coming along and he's like...
Are they
helping.
carrying the
Two
two
people, yes.
other people?
Yes.
Elise, like, as Faraday's saying that, gets out of the SUV and starts rushing over to help them get to the vehicle faster, carrying these bodies. I think she will go to Vigo since he is more visibly hurt and tuck like an arm under his other side and start like, "We got to go. Come on, honey."
No problem. So a lot of you, Faraday comes out also and helps out. You all pile into the back.
Margot does not.
Margot
She
does
drops.
not. Everyone
drops
gets
the
piled in
bodies
there.
off. Yeah,
Okay.
she drops the bodies off with them, and she stays outside.
As soon as everyone's kind of in, Faraday looks at you and then looks over at Elise, and Vico looks at you and goes, "Come on, Margot, we don't got time to waste."
Just go back to Elise's place.
Get in the car, Margot. Don't be a fool.
Come on.
I think Vico would understand that Margot finds safety and comfort in her own loneliness.
And I think seeing that, Vico just kind of nods to you and he goes, "Okay, let's go. She'll be all right."
Elise steps forward and puts a hand on Margot's shoulder, like clutching it.
Just promise you won't go back in there.
No, I just need a drink.
And as Elise gets back in, Vico says, "Stay out of the
Yeah.
shadows." Oh,
Please
sorry.
get in. Yeah, can I say one more thing? She's going to lean into Margot's ear.
If you ever need to speak to anybody about anything, I'm always just a phone call away. She wouldn't be calling me, be calling Faraday, because I don't like cell phones, but that's another thing entirely. Don't worry about that. But I'm here if you need somebody. And I'll have the girl.
I think Margot takes a long moment to look at you, and you, for just a second, see that girl entering the sanatorium.
You see a deep sadness and pity for you in Elise's eyes.
I'll check in later.
She turns back to Faraday. "Give her your number, Faraday, please." And slips into the passenger seat.
He hands a card out through the window.
Margot
just a number
takes
on
it, yeah, and she'll shove it into her jacket pocket and sort of shoves her hands both into little fists in the pockets. And in that, like, very hunched over, sort of curled in on herself way, she starts walking out of the parking lot.
All around you is chaos. There's fires, there's sirens, there's all sorts of stuff going on. Faraday looks at you, Elise, and nods and hits the gas. Fiona, as you get into the car and it speeds off. Tanner, kind of half knocked out, looks up and goes, "Oh, where the fuck are we going?"
We're gonna have a little chat, love.
Christ.
Yeah.
And on that note, my friends, we will end tonight's quiet little pastoral session of Vampire the Masquerade.
I have been clenching my cheeks and leaning forward for an hour.
Thank you so much, everyone. Does anyone have any parting things for the characters to say or that you want to put out here before we go, just so we don't forget them?
Yeah, I think you find Margot in some shitty little dive bar drinking a PBR. And she's like tucked away into the corner and just finding like this uneasy comfort in the shadows.
The song comes on. This one's for my grandmother.
Jesus
She raised
Christ.
me from a young dog. Elise, anything else?
Elise looks to the back seat and her eyes first fall on the girl who she thinks is Cecilia and then slide over to Vico.
Well, perhaps this will put you in good standing with Fletcher now, since you saved us all.
I didn't save anyone. I think you guys saved me, and I'm about to go bleed on his floor, so I think we'll wait and see what happens. I'm a little shook, though, so... I'll
Don't
take
worry, you'll
whatever
be safe
offer.
at my house. You'll appreciate what you've done for me.
I'll start off on the right foot, then. Fiona, any last words?
Fiona flips open a knife and just kind of lazily points it at him and goes, "Give me your phone.
He gives you his phone.
Give me both of your phones, please."
He gives you the second phone.
Great. And she flips it and hits it with the like glass breaker on the end, cracks the glass, and then like just with her bare hands cracks them both in half and throws them out the window.
Right. So are you a drinker or not?
And on that, my friends,